Hello, Pisces. Okay, Pisces, let's do this, right? What a fucking summer. What a summer. Eclipse seasons, retrogrades. I just went through this whole thing. My life is totally different than it was when the summer started. And I feel like you guys are getting on the same page. Not that you haven't been going through transformations, but there's something to me that's still feeling about Pisces, like the things that got shaken up during the eclipse season, still kind of need to be washed away, kind of still need to be purged, a little more worked on and released, right? So let's go ahead, Pisces, and get into your September 2018 tarot scope. Okay, Pisces, so here's what I'm doing this month. Traditionally in tarot, we use significators. A significator basically is used as a card to represent the queer in a reading. Kind of a way of putting your energy, putting you into the reading. So what I'm doing this month is I'm kind of focusing the readings off of the cards that represent you, and here we have the moon. Now, the moon kind of captures both things, both sides of Pisces duality, right? It literally, in the card, we have duality, right? We have the dog and we have the wolf, the domestic nature and the kind of wild nature, right? Then we have the fact that the moon represents the subconscious, and that it also kind of represents darkness, right? And the ugly things in the night, right? The scary things in the night. And for you guys, I read something recently about Pisces, and this is kind of what I want to center your reading on. They said Pisces is kind of like a snake that eats its own tail. It destroys itself by trying to nourish itself. And what that says to me a lot about Pisces is there needs to be a more conscious way of living, right? And that does not mean not paying attention, but if you're eating your own tail into your own demise, right, then that is what we would call unconscious, right? I was reading this book about self-esteem, and they talked about living consciously. And when you're not living consciously is when you do things that you know are not correct, or you know are not the right thing to do, but you do them anyway, right? And that's not talking about fun stuff, right? Like, oh, I should really be doing work, but I'm gonna go party instead, right? It's that to an extreme, right? It's not about, being a little bit of a bad kid and letting loose. It's about doing those things to a point where they start to become self-destructive, where your patterns and your habits and your ways of dealing with the darkness kind of plunge you deeper into it. So what we're going to do here, Pisces, is we're going to look at, since I haven't talked to you guys in a couple months, we're going to look at what's been going on with y'all for the summer. What we're looking at for September, but I also want to take a special look for Pisces about, what are the things that you're doing that are destructive, and what can you do other than that that's actually nourishing, right? That isn't nourishing yourself with your own destruction, right? That is actually filling you up and is actually pushing you forward and moving you into a new place in life, because I think you guys are ready. I think similar to Gemini, Pisces is sort of on the cusp of what's coming next, like next big chapter in your life. Now all we need to figure out is how we find enough stability. And we're mutable signs, right? You're the fish, we're going through water. It's not about, you don't need to necessarily be stable, but what you need to not be is lost in a world of delusion, right? Neptune is in your sign. And where that could go difficult is things becoming a little too dreamy, a little too detached, right? So let's see where Pisces has been. So you want to talk about transformation. I mean, the thing about death, though, is there's a sort of release, right? There's a sort of happiness to what's happening. There's a sort of, no matter how difficult it feels, there's a sense, a presiding sense of joy, right? The skeleton, I don't know if you can focus on it. It kind of has a smile on its face, right? Which could be seen as a little sinister, but also kind of just represents the freedom that death brings, you know, the ability to kind of finally rid yourself in certain ways of things that were just not working for you, things that were toxic, things that were too heavy. So I think this summer, in a way, I think Pisces has kind of become rejuvenated in terms of what you want, right? I feel like old ways of being, old habits, old lifestyles are kind of fading out of being, are kind of in the process, if not already have transformed. What particularly about? Knight of Wands, Pisces wants passion. Pisces wants that fire. Pisces wants that, like, excitement, whether it's sexual, whether it's like the kind of love that gives you flutters, you know, butterflies. I think maybe Pisces has kind of been okay with, you know, putting things aside, like accepting things for the way they are, like going with things that were comfortable, right? The Knight of Wands is super fiery, super passionate, and super wild. So maybe Pisces has been a little bit of the dog for too long. Willing to, you know, be bossed around and told what to do, and accepting, like, you know, well, this person feeds me, so I need to, you know, be loyal or faithful to them, or whatever it may be. Like, Pisces has kind of, I feel like, been dulling yourself down. Willing to accept things that deep down inside you don't really want, or you don't really are beneath you, or beneath your standards. And I think you're getting that. I think part of what this death is bringing is that passion. It's kind of led the way for this fire to be ignited inside of you again. The fire that guides you forward and says, this is what I want. This is what I should have. This is what I deserve. It's saying, you know, eating my own tail is not satisfying anymore. I know that I'm doing it, and it's not good enough. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So starting off, I think, like, this summer's been hugely transformative, right? The energy of these cards, we have Death, and then the Knight of Wands, and then the King of Pentacles. It's just becoming so energized and so liberating and so freeing in a big way. This is what when I started off saying, like, I feel like you, like Gemini, are on the cusp of big change, a new chapter of your life, right? What I think the King of Pentacles is saying here for Pisces is you guys are really interested in, you know, not just the passion in terms of like cheap thrills, momentary fulfillment, but the passion that lasts a lifetime, the passion that creates your career dreams manifesting, right? The passion that creates relationships and commitments to people and commitments to things that will carry you through for a long time, that'll keep you stable, right? If you've been feeling unstable, I think, like, you're aware of it, and now you're seeking stability in the form of a person, in the form of a different job, whatever it is. It's definitely something that excites you, right? This could just be stability in your home life, right? Your family life, whatever it may be. The King of Pentacles is a provider, and I feel like right now for Pisces, it's almost like you're providing for yourself. Not simply monetarily, but like being willing to take care of your dreams, being willing to nurture the things that you believe that you're worthy of having. It's like your worth. This is like Pisces has found its worth. And now you guys are like ready to bring that into the real world. All right, let's just jump into September, because I feel like we're off to a real good start here, Pisces. Definitely a lot of pain and difficulty, like like dark times, but dark times that where there's like the light at the end of the tunnel now. If you're still in it, it's like you can almost see even just a glimpse of light, right? I feel like there are going to be Pisces out there who still feel so lost and trapped and don't know what they're doing. And I think for those people, I would just have to ask to have faith, right? Pisces is very spiritually connected, very expansive in that way, right? Connected to the bigger picture. Higher meaning in life, right? So I challenge you guys, if you're still stuck or you're still like just struggling, to find meaning in that struggle, right? To dive deeper and go within yourself. And you know, we always create meaning all the time for everything that happens in our life. And the empowering thing about spirituality is that it kind of allows you to control that narrative. It kind of allows you to say, like, I'm going to make this story what I want it to be. I'm going to find meaning and imbibe things, especially you guys, right? Imbibe things with meaning. My struggles are meaningful. My struggles have helped me grow. My struggles have helped me transform. My struggles have helped me find my passion again. My struggles have taught me what it means to be stable and how important it is to be stable within yourself, yeah? All right, Pisces, so let's go ahead and jump into September. What are we looking at here for you guys for the month of September? Ooh, gorgeous. Full moon. I want to see if you guys can catch the hologram. I just got these, I've always had these cards, but they sold them separately as a shout out to Uusi Design Studio as holographic Luna cards, and I want to catch that shine. It's hot. So full moon. This is super promising to me. This means that you guys are kind of taking control of the more watery, the scary things that I was talking about before with the moon, right? If you've been going a little wild, it's like now it's coming under control. Or it's not like you are not seeking that anymore, right? But sorry, I got distracted because I just noticed some of the cards are different colors. Okay, sorry about that. That's annoying. I don't know if you guys can tell, they're like, the new cards are different color. Anyway, sorry about that. Whew. All right, Pisces. Anyway, like, this is Pisces under control, I think. This is Pisces living your best life. This is Pisces being fulfilled. This is all the things you've wanted finally starting to feel like they're coming to you, right? And I don't think it's necessarily just material manifestation. I think it's a feeling from within, you know, a feeling of fullness, a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling a little bit of like the hard times are slowly whisking away, right? So Pisces, it's also September. It's going to be a great time to set intentions, to manifest. The full moon is all about bringing things into being. And with you being represented by the moon, it's about like your dreams. It's about all the things that you want now being at your fingertips, now having the power, now having the stability, now having the passion, now having the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding to know what it is that you deserve. Now those things are available to you. What are some of those things that Pisces wants to nourishing yourself, right? What are some of those things? Okay, yeah, first of all, very likely romantic situations. Whether this is like future husband material or just, you know, somebody who stirs you up, right? I feel like I love these two cards together. There's like this stirring up of energy, right? It's so passionate, it's so sexual, it's so invigorating. But to me, this almost comes closer in terms of what Pisces wants, right? You guys, I think, can be sexual, but I think a lot of times you like to channel that sexuality into love, right? And I mean, I think for a lot of you guys, you're going to be meeting romantic suitors this month in September. I think that if you're in a relationship, you might see the emotions get stirred up. You might see like the passions, the love that reminds you of why you guys are together. This is romance. This is creativity. This is like overflowing of that watery energy, that watery stuff, that love, that happiness, that fulfillment. What did I say about you guys getting control? Strength here, right? Taking control, disciplining yourself. Knowing what it is that you want and not being afraid or shy to go get it. Now, Pisces, I feel like I have to say something here. I think that some of you, especially, or, you know, a lot of you have been dealing with difficult situations with men. Almost like overwhelmed with difficult situations overwhelmed by difficult situations with men. Father figures, right? Romantic figures. I think that you've kind of been, for a little while now, emotionally overwhelmed. And not really sure of yourself because of this influence, because of this watery influence that might be offering or promising love or affection. Or just the lack thereof, right? Like empty suitors, right? I think there's a lot of confusion, particularly with relationships about men. Surprise. No, but really, I just was looking at these cards and I just got really overwhelmed by, you know, feeling these tumultuous waters inside, internally. Like shifting back and forth, not knowing where to go. Not feeling totally stable. In what regard, though? I think some of you might hear communication from certain men who might throw you off. There might be conversations in September. There might be unexpected phone calls. There might be just whisperings or gossip. But I think that you're going to be hearing things about men in your life that are going to be very difficult. Difficult in the sense that they might threaten some of this stability that you guys have been working for. This fullness that you've been feeling, right? I just feel tumultuousness here. I feel things coming out of the blue at you that might be shocking, that might be hard to hear. Now, that could also be like, you know, something positive or on the surface positive, like somebody professing their love to you, right? But it throws you for a loop. Especially if this person is a water sign. But even if it's not a water sign, it's about that romantic, I always think of Knight of Cups as like kind of Don Juan, Rico Suave kind of vibe, you know, just like a little bit of a player. Something that toys with your emotions. And then at that point, this moon energy could become overwhelming. So Pisces, maybe this is why I wanted to talk about self-destruction. Even if it's not serious, where you're just like derailing your life with like alcohol and drugs and partying and risky things, like there's even self-destructiveness in like letting go of your dreams and ambitions, right? About putting yourself second, about in a lot of ways, right? So I want to see what Pisces can do to protect themselves this month against like this self-destructive behavior. Ten of Cups. Interesting. Connection with family, right? Wherever it is that you feel unconditional love, if it's not family, right? Your chosen family, your friends, your besties, right? Ten of Cups is about the joy of togetherness, the happiness of love, of celebration, right? Of things going well. I highly advise you this month, Pisces, like to stay close to people who love you. Constantly, I would also say like seek advice. There's a need here to almost get outside of your own head. Remember what I said earlier about the Neptunian and Pisces energy like being almost overwhelming, like drowning? Just be very wary of letting your emotions get carried away, and keep in mind the things that ground you, right? Keep in mind the things that make you stable, the people who make you feel stable. The passions, the interests, the hobbies, whatever it is, the work that makes you feel stable. You might this month have to fight a little bit for joy, but the point is with this card is that it's there. The connection is there. The love and happiness is there. You just might have to look past some bullshit this month that might be thrown at you to stay rooted, right? To stay connected to the reality of who you are. Shit. Okay, I'm sorry I said shit. Look, we got the Tower here, right? This is not all doom and gloom, so don't freak out. I think at worst with this Tower, it's going to be things that shake you in a way, but like that you already knew were a problem, right? At its worst, what I'm saying here is I think that like truths that you might have been avoiding or been avoiding facing, like are gonna just make themselves known in a way that you can't ignore. Yo, Pisces, just like surround yourself with beautiful people. Surround yourself with unconditional love this month, yeah? Also, don't be afraid of the truth, right? The Tower is so liberating. Just trying to lighten this room up a little bit. Also, this reading's getting a little heavy. The Tower is actually very liberating. The Tower brings us in touch with like the things that are important and that are real, right? We have Saturn going direct again, right? Another wake-up call. This could be what all this is, a wake-up call. I just feel like I have to caution again because there's so much Moon and Cups energy here, guys. I really have to caution you against too much escapism. That's too bright. Too much escapism is going to be detrimental, right? If you seek escapism, seek it in healthy ways like meditation, right? Like, the arts. Those are also very Piscean things to do. Pisces always has this rap of drugs, alcohol, party, that kind of susceptibility, but there's also the other part where there's art and mysticism, right? Let's pull another card for Pisces in September. Because you see the transition here, yeah? From the Tower to the Star. From difficulties and things not going right to truth, to beauty, to our ideals being manifest. to our dreams coming true. So this is almost like the cards, I think, are putting a little salve on this by saying, like, this is gonna hurt when you rip the Band-Aid off, but like, you're healed. You're gonna feel healed. You're gonna be able to handle it, you know? It's again another shedding of what is not true. So much is being let go of right now, Pisces. I feel like post-eclipse season, a lot of people are still dealing with the residuals of what happened, of what was changed in our lives. And I think all this reading is saying is that you're not totally out of the woods yet. There's still a little work to be done. But Pisces, in a way, kind of like embodies death. It's the last sign of the zodiac. But it takes everything into it and then rebirths it. So, Pisces, I also want you to just dream big. I want you to not limit the things that you believe are possible for yourself. I want you to keep aspiring and keep setting intentions to have the best that you can possibly have in your life, right? To not sell yourself short. I can think of a couple Pisces in my life maybe who might sometimes sell themselves short. Sometimes try to like cope with things by like saying like, oh, it's okay, or you know, maybe this is the way things are supposed to be or whatever. And no, this is about taking control, right? Having the wherewithal to assert yourself in the world. Again, I want to emphasize though companionship. Companionship, Pisces, super important. Let the people around you help you. I know you guys always want to save the world and save everybody else, but you kind of have to let the people around you help you. Let the people around you support you. Let the people around you tell you what to do. Right? So let's pick out one more outcome card and then we'll go ahead and pull the oracle. So finally we have Seven of Wands. The kind of strength to protect yourself. The wherewithal to fight. The fight to keep going. The fight to get what you know you deserve. The fight to get what you desire. You might be feeling a little out of steam. And to that, I would say, you know, find it within you to keep going. The cards of the universe right now are asking you to, because there's a lot on the line. Right? If you feel a little defeated, if you feel a little beaten down, if you feel a little tired of fighting, I understand that. Take some time back, right? Don't escape, but relax. Pull back. Because having your energy right now is going to be really important to getting to the next phase, to getting over all this, right? To be frank, when I look at the cards, there's not actually that much difficulty. What I'm seeing is like some like no cards here themselves, besides the Tower maybe, are super challenging. It was more just the combination of the way cards were coming together that made me feel like this could be overwhelming. This could feel difficult. This could be hard to manage, right? So I don't think there's going to be much like loss, you know, not the things, the changes that are happening, I feel like are very inner. The challenges are inner, right? In your heart and your mind. Because this shows like you're okay with the Seven of Wands, right? You have the means to take care of yourself. You're not you know, left out in the cold with nothing to do, or you know, nothing to protect yourself with, no resources. You have the power. It's just about understanding that and not letting the other stuff overwhelm you. To tap into your inner strength in a real way, Pisces. And not slip into self-destructive behavior. The best I can say, guys, is to prevent that. Like, remind yourself of how loved you are. Remind yourself at the bottom of the deck, the Fool. How big and wide open the world is. How full of adventure. How full of possibility, right? This is very positive. This is telling me that underneath it all, Pisces does want more. And Pisces knows that they deserve a lot. Knows that it's their birthright to have almost anything they want. Anything they could dream of. Right? So overall, guys, and I can't, like, when my setup showed the cards, so I'm going to just take a picture when I'm done, and I'll put this at the end of the reading so you guys can look at it. Overall, I have to say, I really think that there's been like a fire lit under your asses. Where now you know what you want, you know what you're worth, you want passion, you want connection. I think there's still some residuals, and there's still some wake-up calls to come, unfortunately. But, I mean, ultimately, I feel like you're okay. I think as long as you stay close to your family and friends and things like that, the people who you know have your best interests in mind, and as long as you keep your eye on the prize and, like, really focus on what it is that you do want. Focus on where you want to be. There's so much danger here, I feel here, of emotions taking control and getting the best of you. And that's what September is going to be about. You guys finding the calm within yourselves to weather, like, the ups and downs. Haunted a little bit, Pisces. I think maybe thinking too much about the past. I think about letting the past inform you too much. Inform your ideas about the present, right? Not feeling connected in a strong way. You know, almost as if the past, like, created your reality now. If you're not feeling good about it, right? Heaviness. Baggage. Right? Lots of baggage. Remember what I said about dreaming big? Look, last we have the eagle. I mean, how can I say this? Even though I said to stay connected to people and seek their advice and whatever, I think that the lesson here for Pisces in September is to be your own guide. Is to be like the master of your own. You know, there's such a difference here between, with creativity in the middle, on one side you have like the inevitable stuff, the past, the baggage, the things that you can't change. On the other side you have, like, I feel like wisdom and insight and intuition, right? And higher knowing. That's what this is to me right now. It's like Piscean higher knowing. I think that September is going to be a really good month for you guys to get spiritual, to take part in spiritual communities, whether that's like going to church or meditation group or whatever it is that you seek out. Actually, I'll tell you guys now, I'm planning on weekly meditations on my channel. I've been meditating daily, and I wanna bring that to the group. So in a couple weeks, look out for that. And if you have nowhere else to go, it'll be available here. It'll be free, and it'll be a community, and I've been doing this for a long time, so there's going to be a lot to get out of it, and I want us all to have community. You know, if you don't feel like you have community wherever you are, then we're going to have it here, right? That's why this is called the house of light and shadow. about all of us, right? This reminds me of that saying, the light in me sees the light in you, right? The light in me sees the light in you, Pisces. We are going to be each other's guides, yeah? Trust your intuition. It's so strong. Trust your instinct. Stop doubting yourself. Stop letting other people make you doubt yourself. Know how strong you are. Know how much work you've been doing. Don't let... I just still feel like someone's going to try to fuck with you. Someone in September is going to say some shit. I feel it. In September, someone's going to say some shit or do some shit that's just going to derail you and your self-confidence. And you can't let that happen, right? To come back to yourself. Pisces. We're being reborn. It's all about the next chapter. We're being reborn, Pisces. Finding ourselves, finding our passion, finding our spirit, finding our life. Get your life. Maybe that'll be the title of this video. Get your life, Pisces. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Quick note, my Etsy shop is going to shut down at the end of the month because I'm going to be moving over to booking readings through a website that I'm working on right now that should be up by October. So right now I have the remaining readings that are in my shop are on sale, and as soon as those are all sold out, that's going to be it for my Etsy readings. And the shop is going to shut down as soon as those all are fulfilled. It became too unmanageable for me to just like take in a slew of orders, so now I have to set up like a booking system, especially because I have a full-time job. It wasn't working. It was overwhelming. People were getting their stuff late and I felt really bad, and so we're going to change all that. But right now it's on sale. Clear it out. I don't have that many available on purpose because, like I said, it was overwhelming. So check those out. And otherwise, Pisces, like, I'll see you guys soon. I mean, I think that there's some heavy feelings here, but that there's ultimately nothing to be too scared about unless you lose yourself. So this month, it's imperative to find the things or the people who ground you and remind you of your worth and remind you of, like, there's stuff worth fighting for, right? Don't lose yourself this month, Pisces. I feel like it's going to be challenging, but ultimately a growing experience, right? It's happening because of what you've been coming into this month with all that change and all that transformation and all that growth and new passion. So now it's like you're getting tried a little bit, but you're going to do great because you're great. And I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great, blessed September. Stay strong, and hit me up. All right, bye, guys.